Hello guys, welcome back to the course. Starting and building a career in cybersecurity. I'm John Paul Tahiru, cybersecurity expert and a penetration tester. So we're going to go through second practical aspect of the course, which will involve scanning for open ports to see if it have an effect when the Windows Defender firewall is on and when the Windows Firewall Defender is off. So my Kali Linux is already running. Um, On my local lab setup, I have my Windows 7 machine. So I'm going to start it. You can also install it based on your local lab recommendation. I have the Metasploitable, which I'll be demonstrating some practical aspect in the subsequent aspect of the course. And you can have as many operating systems. You can have your Android lab and Mac OS and OAP stuff then install in addition to this. So while my Windows machine is running, alright, start it. Remember, this is a virtual operating system. It has no effects on my own Windows 10 machine on my local PC. So you can install as many versions of the Windows operating system. You can install 7, 8, 10, 11, and as much as it will allow you to check for their security strength and to also practice um, your analysis and penetration testing in a safe environment. So my Windows is running. As you can see, Windows 7 Ultimate. So uh, I operate it separately from my own Windows 10 operating system. Okay, accelerator. Alright, so my Windows started and I'll go on my Kali Linux and then I'll go to my terminal emulator and I'm going to use Nmap to scan for open ports on this Windows 7 operating system. Alright, so before I do that, I will check for the IP address of my Windows 7, because for you to carry out any network analysis, you need to know either the domain or the IP address, and specifically the IP address, because even domains have different IP addresses. So you need to search for the specific IP addresses. You need to carry out a particular analysis on a particular network check on. So we're gonna run the cmd command. All right, since this Windows, we're using the command ipconfig. and when you click enter, it will give you the IP address of the machine you're scanning for. As you can see, IP address is 192.168.30.18. Okay, so you have to memorize this because once you're scanning, you can still make references. So we're gonna use Nmap. We're gonna use a sudo command to give us root privileges. Um, and of course you need to have this command handy. I'll walk us through on how to get there. So nmap, I'm gonna use dash sv, the version scan, then IP address to be 192.168.30.18. All right, so these are the command we need to use to scan for open ports on our Windows 7. And before that, we want to check if Windows Defender is on. So clicking on the Windows icon, search for control panel. All right, system security. You're going to see a Windows firewall. Click on it. As you can see, the Windows firewall is on. Windows firewall state is on. So we can go ahead and click on this scan, enter. It will require a Linux password which you have generated. Alright, then you will not give it time as it runs the Nmap scan. Alright, it's gonna take some time. Okay, all scan for an ignored states. Alright, let's see. Um, let's run it again. You can see the host is up, but it's telling us the all 100 port scan of this IP address and ignored states. So sometimes the first command may not give us, so let's run it again. Alright, let's check. So most likely the Windows firewall is blocking a scan from outputting results. So let's try to turn off this. So by turning off the Windows firewall, and to see if it will have effects on the scan output. Okay, so let's assume our Windows is vulnerable now because the firewall is turned off. So let's still go back to running our command. Alright, it's still running. You can see 50% done. If you want to check, you click on the arrow up. It will tell you the timing and what minute is remaining before the scan output. Let's still check. Okay, it's taking a bit time. So I'll put our scan results. So give it some minutes. Okay, it's almost and we can see 99.81. So once it's 100, it's gonna upload our scan result. So now this using this command sudo nmap-sv scan version command gives us the ports that are open on my Windows 7 operating system. As you can see, the first scan, because the Windows firewall was on, it shows all the ports are filtered. That means the Windows firewall is blocking or filtering any scan result that will come on the network, because once you have access on what ports are available, then you'll be able to attack the system. And so that's the use to tell you the importance of firewall. Sometimes Windows will tell you update your Windows system or firewall. Once it's down, we tell you your system is vulnerable, you need to activate the firewall, because anybody who is to hack your system will first of all run a scan to see if there are open ports on your domain, your network, or your system for you to have access to. And the subsequent videos, I'm going to show us how this can be used to exploit the system as we go on. All right, so this gives us the ports available, the TCP ports are all open, and NetBIOS scan. So experienced hackers will be able to exploit any open ports by using any of those cybersecurity techniques to hack into whatever ports that may be open at that. So we can see the advantage of using activating Windows Firewall all the time. So we're gonna turn this back to our recommended settings, and Windows is secure at the moment. Thanks for watching.